Hi, welcome back to Tips with Toni. I'm Toni Marinucci, and I'm your registered dietitian helping you get healthy one bite at a time. Today's topic is all about probiotics. What are they? Why are you hearing all about them? What is the buzz about? So, probiotics are essential for digestion and to support a healthy immune system. Believe it or not, a majority of our immune system is in our gut, in our stomach. And that's where probiotics, good bacteria, grow, live, and survive if we're feeding our bodies what it needs. So, if you are having issues with digestion, if you're feeling bloated and cramping all the time, then you want to listen up because these are the foods that are going to help you feel better. Okay, so probiotics, I think the obvious thing that comes to mind is yogurt, right? Yogurt is a great source of probiotic, but are you having it on a regular basis? And honestly, it might not be enough. You have to think about the concept of antibiotic treatment in medicine, a very, very useful and common tool to help things like, sinus infections, UTIs, maybe just preventative, just before a surgery or something like that. So antibiotics have been given to us from a very, very young age. And through that process, we need those antibiotics to kill the bad bacteria that's causing that infection in the body. But during that process, antibiotics are also killing the good bacteria. And there's no way to restore it unless we eat it. Okay, so yogurt might be one of those foods that you incorporate on a regular basis. Once again, regular basis. If you have it one time, it's not going to do anything. So you have to consistently be having yogurt. So maybe like a yogurt for breakfast or a yogurt for a snack. And that's pretty much a staple in your day-to-day diet. An additional option, I'm sure you've heard a lot of buzz about it, is kombucha. Kombucha is a fermented tea which has a lot more of those probiotic healthy bacteria strands than maybe something like a yogurt would have. So incorporating kombucha on a regular basis would be helpful as well. It can get a little bit pricey, so I just recommend maybe having either one full bottle every other day or splitting the bottle between 1 to 2 days. But just make sure you keep it cold and in the refrigerator because once it is kept at room temperature, that's when the bacteria will die. Okay, so you want to keep the good, healthy bacteria alive, and that's best through the refrigeration process. Other foods that have probiotics are things that have been fermented over time. So sauerkraut, most people don't know. Sauerkraut actually has good sources of bacteria. Pickles, actually a good source of bacteria. Then other things like tempeh and tofu, those are definitely going to have the probiotics that your body needs. And then lastly, kefir. Kefir, I'm not sure if you know it, but it's pretty much like a mixture between a milk and a yogurt. And that, very similar to yogurt, is going to have probiotics as well. But that might be a little bit more useful in a smoothie, let's say, or into maybe your cereal if you want like something thick, or you can make overnight oats with it. It's a really helpful kind of vessel, I guess you could say, for overnight oats. It really makes it thick if that's how you like your oats. So what I do have to say with some of these foods is they could also have a lot of added sugar. So you really want to make sure that if something claims to have pre and probiotics, you definitely want to take a further look and to see how much is it actually containing. Is it worth me consuming this if there's only a little bit of probiotics? And then lastly, how much sugar is in this? Because sometimes like kefirs that are sweetened or yogurts that are sweetened, they can have a whole lot of sugar. They do have a good source of protein, and they do have the probiotics, so it might be okay, but you just don't want to have too much of it. You want to be mindful of how much added sugar is in your diet regardless, right? And then those things like sauerkraut and pickles, they could have a lot of sodium and a lot of salt. So if you have high blood pressure or you're at risk for heart disease or you're looking at your sodium content or you just easily retain water and you don't like the way that feels, then that's definitely something to consider. So as you know, as a dietitian, I encourage a well-balanced meals throughout the week, throughout the day. So these are just some foods you can begin to slowly incorporate in your everyday staple. and kind of just work from there and see if you're feeling any better. Obviously, if the symptoms are severe, you want to consult a doctor. But in the meantime, that might be where the first step would be before maybe taking a probiotic supplement. Because as you guys know, food is most bestly absorbed through food, okay? Not so much through a pill. However, there are some really supportive studies with certain probiotics that tend to be helpful. So, with that being said, we don't want it to negate you trying to encompass healthier eating habits and healthier food choices. Because although some of those foods might come with added sugar or salt, some of those foods actually come with a wonderful array of different benefits like vitamin C, antioxidants, calcium, vitamin D. So it's important that we don't, put food as yay or nay, and we kind of encompass. So it's important that we don't keep foods to yay or nay, and it's important that we encompass everything as a whole and really take a look at the food entity as a whole and outweigh the pros and cons and then decide, should I implement this in my diet? So that's all I have to say about probiotics. If you have any questions, you can email me at tipswithtoni@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at tips_with_Toni. And that's all I have for you guys today. And thank you for listening. My name is Toni Marinucci. I'm your registered dietitian, and I'm helping you get healthy one bite at a time.